Ego, Slammy, Ego, Slammy, Ego, Slammy, hey, you already know what's up. What's that? Another home run. We should know the job ain't done till we hold that trophy up. Hey.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome, episode 613, Talking Friars podcast and YouTube show. Ben Fadden with you here on June 30th, 2024. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. Padres take 2 out of 3 at Fenway, their first series at Fenway since July of 2013. That lineup looked a whole lot different, and this lineup mashed, for the most part, against the Red Sox, specifically in those first two games. We'll talk about this entire series. I already gave my post-game reactions, at least on YouTube, right after the game, in games 1 and games 2. So we'll hit more on game 3 here, and then I'll go over the other two games as well, some of the good things, some of the bad things, and then get to the comments as well, questions in the chat. Thank you all for being here again. If you want to join the show live here on YouTube, click that link pinned up at the top of the chat. I'd be glad to talk to you Padres fans. But yeah, let's start off with this 4-1 loss here today. Matt Waldron was on the mound, and I knew going in that this was going to be an emotional day for him. I don't know if you guys saw the video after the game where he was getting emotional, talking about how Tim Wakefield, who was his mentor, Dennis Lynn, had a piece in The Athletic before this series at Fenway, I believe. A good piece about what Tim Wakefield did for Matt Waldron. And just the talks that they had and how Wakefield gripped the knuckleball. And so Matt Waldron was connected to this guy. And so obviously Wakefield passes away, I believe, last year. And it was just so sad how not just him that passed away, but his wife passed away shortly thereafter. So it was just an emotional day for him not getting back, first time being on that mound at Fenway. And it sucks that it was in the daytime, to be honest, because on the broadcast, they were talking about how Waldron was wearing long sleeves and he was trying to prevent him getting so sweaty, like his hands getting so sweaty. Because if it was a night game, maybe results would have been a little bit different. But what I saw was it wasn't the knuckleball that was giving him a lot of trouble. It was the sweeper it was just hanging over the middle of the plate too much. The fastball, I believe, was the homer he gave up to Devers. Then he gave up another home run. That one was on a sweeper. So, yeah, there was that pass ball that scored a run as well. That was on the knuckleball that Higgy couldn't come up with. And I believe right before that, there was a pitch violation on Waldron. So it just wasn't his best day. But as I tweeted earlier today, it was the first time since early May, that start against the D-backs where he gave it like 7 runs. This was the first time since then that he has allowed 3 runs or more. I'm not saying earned runs, but just 3 runs total. He's been that good for this Padres team. Usually, or at least I've gotten used to saying, yeah, he's going to go 6 innings, maybe 7, and he's going to give up 1, 2 runs. And I know it would have been crazy for us to say that going into the year because it's Matt Waldron, right? There was just a different thought around him going into the year. But he has earned us being disappointed with the outing that he had today. He has earned us being disappointed with him not getting through 5 innings today. He ends up going 4 1/3, gives up 6 hits, only walked 1 guy, but gave up those 2 home runs. Those 2 home runs obviously hurt. And then the Padres offense wasn't able to do a whole lot. Jackson Merrill showed up, and talk about someone that showed up all weekend long. I mean, he had 3 hits in this game. I believe he had 7 hits, at least 7 hits. I know that. At least 7 hits in the series, had a couple of home runs. One of his hits today was off the Green Monster. And for anyone that was watching the broadcast, he did grow up a Red Sox fan. His dad was a Red Sox fan. His mom was an Orioles fan, though. But he was a big Dustin Pedroia fan. And then when Pedroia got hurt, he was a Xander Bogaerts fan. So it's cool that he shares that same dugout, that same clubhouse with Bogey now. But just that had to be an amazing weekend. He has that homer, I think the first game of the series, that was almost hit right at his mom. It was pretty dang close. I don't think a player can come closer to hitting a home run at their mom than what Jackson Merrill did the other night. Like that was really cool. And then hearing his mom being interviewed, I think it was the Saturday game yesterday on the broadcast, he had one heck of a weekend. Manny Machado had one heck of a series. It seems like it's good for me to say now that he is back, which is awesome because when Manny goes, this Padres team goes. Padres, they've won 9 of their last 11. And getting back to today offensively, I mean, it was just one of those days where they weren't able to do a whole lot. They went 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. It's going to be hard. Now the Red Sox went 0 for 10. So they what happened though was they hit homers, right? Where the Padres, you don't have the homers, you can't go 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position and then expect to have a great result in that game. So for me though, like this was one of those, okay, let's just shrug it off. I know all these games matter, but to take 2 out of 3 at Fenway against a Red Sox team that I think had won 8 of their last 10 going into this series, you win your 3rd consecutive series, you're 4 games over 500 going into Texas. I'm going to take that. We got encouraging performances from Michael King. We'll see what happens with Randy Vasquez, but I thought the bullpen for the most part did a pretty darn good job. I mean, today they gave up no runs. Peralta, Kolek, Morahone, and Estrada. Suarez did not even have to pitch, sadly, because of today's result. And then he didn't pitch in this series. And then yesterday, De Los Santos gave up that 1 run, but Matsui and then Austin Davis didn't give up any runs. And then in the last game, or excuse me, the first game of the series, Peralta gave up a run, but then Kolek went 2 scoreless, Davis shutout inning, and then Matsui shutout inning. So for the most part, there was a reliever here and there that gave up a run, gave up a couple, but the bullpen as a whole, I thought did a pretty darn good job today. Or excuse me, not today, but just this entire series. So again, like I've said many times already this season, sure, you want the sweep, but you keep taking series, you're going to be a playoff team. And right now, the Padres, they sit in a good spot. Things are trending in the right direction. And we'll see if they can continue it. But I was happy going, out of this series, going into Texas, day off tomorrow. And there's another day off. I want to say, what was it? I think next Monday. I could be wrong on that. But they this schedule now going into July, starting tomorrow, it's much more friendlier with the days off. So that's the good news. Parker wants to join the show. What's up, Parker?
Nothing much. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. What'd you think about the series today, or not the series this weekend? The positives.
Yeah, I mean the positives, Manny, Merrill.
Yeah, for
Those
sure.
are definitely 2 right there. Michael King, I know that the offense is going to get a lot of the talk, at least for yesterday's game, but he went 6 innings, gave up just 1 run, and struck out 6. I was encouraged by that. So those are the main things that I point to in this series, no doubt. I mean, Manny, him being back, Kevin Acee, I think in his newsletter said that the Padres are undefeated when Manny has multiple runs driven in games this year. When Manny goes, the Padres go. It's been like that pretty much his entire Padres career. And it was not that long ago. Remember that Philly series where they almost got swept and they almost had a winless road trip through New York and through
When
Philly.
they went almost 0-6, I think they went 1-5. That's yeah.
Yeah. And Manny couldn't find it. He was so pissed off about the elbow and not being able to find the right slot. Well, it sure seems like he has found the right slot. I don't know if it's Fenway or what, but it just seems like he is almost 2022 Manny Machado right now offensively. And so that's an amazing sign.
Yeah, I was really excited to see Manny do well because I remember I was watching your video and you said that this is going to be Manny's series, and he really showed out. But I really like when I see Kyle Higashioka do well. When he hits
thank
well.
you for pointing that out. Yes.
Yeah. He didn't really do much today, but he's not really striking out much anymore either. He's putting the ball in play.
Yeah, and you look at the average, right? And that's not going to stand out. It might stand out for the wrong reasons. Like, oh man, that's really bad. But this home run tear, him and Merrill, this home run tear that they're on, and I think Higgy has the most home runs by
a catcher.
Was it a catcher? There was something with Ryan Schimpf as well. I forget.
Yeah, I think it's for the catcher for the Padres or something like that. In 1 month.
Okay. Yeah. I think it definitely is catcher. Maybe it was Derek Norris. Yeah. So it is catcher. It was something like that. But yeah, impressive what Higgy is doing right now. He is, and he said this in one of his previous interviews. It's not like he's trying to hit a home run. Same with Merrill. He's getting the barrel out front. Sometimes it's good to wait on pitches, but when those pitches are there for you to pull, it's okay. It's okay to pull pitches as long as you're getting that barrel out in front and you're swinging at good pitches. You're not just pulling to pull pitches because that's where you can get into trouble. But yeah, I don't want to wish injury on anyone. Campy is going to be, I believe, rehabbing in Lake Elsinore here this week. So that's good. But as I said, when Campy went down with that thumb, I'm like, I'd rather have Higgy than Campy. It's just based on performance right now. And so the Padres did get lucky, I guess, that it's Campy that got hurt and not Higgy.
Yeah, I was curious what you thought, because Bogart should be coming back not too long. I was thinking, because Solano's hitting the ball well, so do you think you move like Luis Ariz to right field or something? Because I feel like Johnson. I'd rather have Bogarts in the lineup, but also Solano's hitting the ball well too. So what do you do there? You think?
Yeah, I would. I mean, Manny, it seems like his health is good, so more third base stays there, so that could allow Solano to DH some, and so you'd have
Cronenworth at second.
Yeah, I wonder but when Bogarts comes back, is he going to be taking up some DH days?
That's what I was thinking.
Because Ariz, no, they're not putting him in the outfield.
Yeah,
they're not going to put anyone in the outfield. So it's just, yeah, I don't think they're going to put Bryce Johnson out there every day. But I mean, who would it be though? So yeah, that's a good point that you bring up.
Because the only one that's played in the outfield was Luis Ariz in like Minnesota. He only played like left field for like 20 games. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't want really Bryce Johnson batting, but
right.
If you put Bogarts in,
like Ariz is going to be in the lineup, Bogarts is going to be in the line. Maybe it's Kim that takes the fall a little bit, and they have Bogarts play short because they're not taking Crony out. They're not going to take Ariz out. Well, or Ariz, it seems like he's hurt with that left hand.
Yeah.
So maybe they put him on the IL for a little bit, so it frees up that spot for Bogarts, and so they don't have to put someone weird out in the outfield or not have Solano hit, not have Bogarts hit, something like that. Because, yeah, Ariz, there was the shoulder thing right earlier, now the left hand. It doesn't seem like he's totally healthy, but again, do they need him totally healthy to still be productive for this team? Because it's not like he's a power guy. Like the bat to ball is still there though.
Do you think Higashioka will get become the starting catcher now with what he's been doing behind the plate and hitting?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think he definitely should.
He's going to be starting until he is cold. Even if Campy, like in the days that he comes in and when he comes back and he plays fine, like Higgy should be starting. He deserves it. He's better defensively. He throws more guys out. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I really hope Merrill finds a way to get into the All-Star game. He's unbelievable. I do feel like they're going to give the Rookie of the Year to Paul Skeens, but I really hope that Jackson Merrill can keep it up.
Yeah, hopefully there's those voters that look at it like, well, Skeens didn't come up, and I know it's not like his fault, it's the Pirates' fault, but he wasn't here all year. Merrill had to move positions. He's playing every day. There are guys that have been hurt around him, and he has stepped up. He struggled a little bit after performing well right out of the gate, struggled, then adjusted, so I think that's impressive as well. Now there's the power. He's going to the opposite field. It's a complete hitter is what I'm seeing right now. He's not making a bunch of mistakes in the outfield either. So hopefully that can earn Merrill some points, and that can what gets him the Rookie of the Year. But yeah, I'm not counting on it. It just feels like no one's really, and maybe this is me just not looking at everything, but it doesn't feel like Merrill is getting the coverage that Skeens is. I understand why Skeens is getting it, but it doesn't seem like Merrill's getting the like Rookie of the Year coverage that Paul Skeens is, or like the rookie love. But yeah, Merrill, I think I'd actually kind of be surprised, to be honest, right now, if he's not in the All-Star game, because WAR's not everything, but he is what, top 3? It could have changed, but Fangraphs like top 3, top 5, whatever in NL outfielders, and I think Profar and Tatis recently were right there as well. So yeah, Merrill, he has a strong case for sure because there's injuries that happen as well.
Is it looking like Yu Darvish will miss? Because I know he was originally supposed to start a while ago, but then maybe he was going to start on Tuesday. Is he looking probably to miss that start as well?
Yeah, I didn't hear it unless AC wrote something because I didn't see it, but I don't think he's going to make that next start, but because he's in San Diego, I believe. I don't think that he's with the team. At least I didn't see him. So he could fly to Texas, but I wouldn't count on it. There's the off day, so they can push some guys up if they don't want to start. Who would that be? Major in that
Yeah, it would be
spot?
Major. He's scheduled.
Yeah, so if they don't want that, I think they could push someone up. I'm not expecting Darvish right now for this week.
Yeah.
All right, Parker. Thanks,
Yeah.
man. I appreciate it, dude.
Thanks for letting me hop on.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one. Yeah, so just this series, obviously my post-game reactions, the first 2 games, Merrill, Manny, it feels like when they go, this team, Manny specifically, but when those guys are going, you're probably going to win a lot of baseball games because Merrill, he gets on base, and where he's hitting in the order, he's driving guys in at the same time, with these extra base hits. So let's go through this series for Merrill. So game 1, he ended up going 1 for 5, but that one hit that he had was a homer, which was in that man. This Padre team loved that 5th inning. Merrill had the homer that made it 9-1. Because in that 5th inning, so Higgy had that homer, made it 2-1. Crony had an RBI single, 4-1. Solano single, 6-1. Merrill with the homer made it 9-1. And that ball was the one to center that was almost at his mom. That was such an awesome moment. 9-1 there. So if you're going to have one hit, a homer, not too bad. Then we go to game 2. 3-hit day. 3 for 5, scored a run, drove in a couple of runs. And, of course, we know that he homered there over the Green Monster in the 4th inning. That made it 4-0 at the time. Red Sox only scored 1 run against our Pods yesterday. Padres won that one 11-1. Crony had an RBI single. Manny had a homer. Actually, a couple homers. That home run made it 8-0. Soli even had a homer. Made it 10-0. Kind of sneaked it around. It was like, 30 feet past the pesky pole? Merrill had a double. Made it 11-1 there in that 8th inning. Just a complete hitter. And I can only imagine what this guy is going to look like when he gets stronger. Because we saw Ha-Seong Kim when he first came in. He was not as jacked as he was now, or as he is now, or as he was last year. Let's go look. If you go look at Manny Machado, his rookie year with the Baltimore Orioles, and look at him now, you can tell a difference, right? You could tell a difference with Bryce Harper. You could tell a difference with, I think, Fernando. Yeah. There is a difference there. I would say I don't have that personal experience, but I bet the major league food options and the resources you have at the big league level, that helps you put on that muscle and put on that healthy weight at the big league level compared to the minor leagues. So I don't want to skip ahead because I want to appreciate what he's doing right now, but I'm just saying, I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. His progression from rookie year right now to, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, hopefully 10 years in a Padres uniform down the road. By the way, I did want to give a shout out to Chad Delonzo here. He gave me this Compete for Pete towel. I saw it in the Padre dugout earlier this year, and I didn't know who made it until a couple days ago. I DM'd him. He replied. He's a fan of the show, so I appreciate you, Chad, if you're watching or listening to this. That was awesome. Gave him a Crony bobblehead in return. But, yeah, I think anyone that knows me or watched the show, watched the instant reaction video that I had when Peter passed away when I found out the news, I think you guys know how much he meant to me, not because like I knew him personally, because I didn't, but just how much I love this Padres team, how much I love Padres fans, the community, right? And how big it is in my family, just the Padres, and how much happiness and joy some of the stuff that he did has brought to my family, your family, those that are listening or watching this, just the city of San Diego, Padres fans that have moved away from San Diego but are still connected to San Diego through the Padres. Um, I just love what he did. Something that stuff that no other owner had done in Padres history. Um, he helped put together a winner, not a World Series winner, but maybe someday, hopefully one day, but just something that I'd never experienced as a Padre fan in my life, which was an NLCS appearance. So I'm just super appreciative of that. It still stinks every day when you think that Peter is not here. But what I will say is Peter probably is smiling ear to ear down on this team right now because they love each other. This is a team that we are watching. I don't know if you guys saw, but Manny, how happy he was for Merrill the other day when Merrill homered at Fenway. He was happier than when he homers. He was happier than I think I've seen him probably all year when Merrill homered. Like that's just they have a bond. They're a team. They're an actual team. And Don Orsillo even this is the first time I think all year that I've heard him mention on the broadcast about how this year's team feels like they love each other and it's different than last. Like he mentioned last year in his comments. So it's pretty obvious, it's pretty evident, and hopefully Peter is hopefully is happy with the product that the Padres, these Padres players, the staff have on the field right now. But yeah, game 2, that was a fun game yesterday. And Jared Carrabis, obviously, anyone that knows him, he's a Red Sox fan, and so I was seeing some of his tweets, and he wasn't having a fun time, but we were having a really fun time. Game 1 of this series, Padres won 9-2. More power, obviously, there. I mean, again, Higgy, I was not expecting this. I like the Kyle Higashioka addition when it was made at the not at the deadline, in the offseason, in that Soto deal. I don't think many Padres fans knew a whole lot about Kyle Higashioka, but I'm someone that follows the league, and so I did know about Higgy, and I knew that he caught Garrett Cole a lot, and this is a veteran. It's a solid addition. I wasn't expecting him to hit a bunch of homers like he's doing right now in the month of June. I mean, he wishes that June would just be the entire year, the way that he's hitting right now. But I knew that we were getting a solid guy, a solid catcher, and that's what we've gotten. It is definitely what we have gotten. So, and his person, it's not like he has a Jackson Merrill personality or a Manny personality or Tatis or anyone like that. And when he's talking to the media, you may feel like, oh man, this guy seems pretty boring. Like he doesn't, it's not like you hear his voice get raised a whole lot or anything like that. But some guys are just like that, Hey, I'm just doing my job. I see the pitch, and he answers the questions by the media well. But there's not like that enthusiasm, I don't think, behind his voice. But I'm totally fine with, like, people are different. People speak differently. So I don't know. I'm not saying I've seen this on social media, but I could imagine some people like, oh man, this guy doesn't seem to have much of a personality, but he keeps producing. I mean, I don't care. And I don't think a lot of Padres fans would care either, really. But I mean, he does have the personality. I have seen some stuff about him. But yeah, couldn't be happier for Higgy and what he is doing right now. Because you get traded over, and you're sure he's on a contender, but he's leaving a Yankees team that he was there for a long time. I don't know if he was the longest tenured. He probably was. because of Brett Gardner was gone. So he probably was. He was there for a while, and now you're going across the country, and you kind of got to prove yourself again to get that consistent playing time. And oh boy, has he proven himself or what? No doubt about that. Crony had a pretty good series as well. 1 for 5 in game 1. Another RBI in game 2. Today didn't get any hits, but I mean, the offense didn't do a whole lot, but he contributed as well in those first couple of games. By the way, the MLB All-Star vote, that second phase, that is out. So you can vote one. It's not 5 times anymore, but it's once a day. I already did it today. It's once a day. There's Tatis that's in it. There's Arise that's in it. There's Manny that's in it. And who am I forgetting? Profar. Those 4 are in the second phase, I think final phase of the balloting. And if they get the most votes, they get to start the All-Star game. Now, for Profar, it's the top 3. Tatis as well, it's the top 3. Tatis, he will not be playing in the All-Star game. I would not imagine. I don't think that Padres fans want him to do that either. But he is still in that vote. Profar, I know he's dealing with the knee, but yeah, I want him to go to the All-Star game in Texas. More like so that he and his son can go through that experience, because that's amazing. Kyrie, having him watch the home run derby, that's cool. I think Gunnar Henderson was the first guy that was announced for that today, so he's fun to watch. Talk about someone that's fun to watch. So yeah, feel free to go vote for those guys. MLB.com, or go to Padres.com, whatever. You will see where you can vote there. Quick break, and then I'm going to get to the chat. Check out Gaglione Bros' famous cheesesteaks and garlic fries on Friars Road. You can visit their website, gaglionebros.com, for their entire menu and enjoy their cheesesteaks and fries at Petco Park and Snapdragon Stadium as well. All right, a reminder about some of the other great partners of the show as well. Breaking Tea, they just released a Jerks and Profar shirt, a new Profar shirt, not just the relevant shirt that I have, but they released another one. I think Don't Mess with Profar is the main message on there. So click the link in the description, Breaking Tea. Use that to your advantage. Underdog Fantasy. Claim a special pick when you click that link in the description or use code Talking Friars. You get that special pick and a 50% deposit match up to $250. There's pick'ems, there's drafts, there's rival picks where you can go up against another player. So like you pick who's going to have more hits in a game, this player or this player, who's more points in a game in basketball, this player or this player, stuff like that. A lot of different sports. So Underdog Fantasy, check them out. And then SeatGeek, same code, Talking Friars there. I see Quandale, hopefully I'm not botching that name, wants to join the show. What's up?
What's good, Zaddy? Can you fuck me so hard in the ass?
All right, that's it. Sorry about that, guys. Someone's just trolling there. Wow. If you guys want to join the show, please don't do what that person just did. Jason with the super chat says, Peter did what all of us wish we could have done as a true Padre fan. We all loved him as much as Croc and maybe more. Rest in peace. That's for sure, Jason. Yep, for sure. Thank you, Big P, for the kind words. Daniel. Yep, off to the Rangers. 3-game series coming up for the Padres now. Scherzer, I think, is starting for the Rangers. I know one of the games. I think it's Thursday, the July 4th game. And then the Padres will come back home. And I think they have 3 series before the All-Star break. So a 3-series homestand before the break. I think it's the D-backs. Who is it? D-backs? Is it Mariners and Braves? I want to say. So off day on Monday, and then Evaldi for the Rangers. Padres have not announced their starters yet, but Tuesday, 5 o'clock, 5:05, Evaldi for the Rangers. Wednesday, John Gray, 5:05. And then Thursday, Scherzer for the Rangers. That's going to be 11:35 a.m. our time. And then Friday, D-backs for 3. And then there's an off day Monday for the Padres. So they get 2 off days in a span of, a week? Whatever that is. And then, the Mariners for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then they have a day off. Oh, no, I think is that the All-Star break? No, there's an off day. So they have an off day Monday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, and then they have that Brave series Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then the All-Star break is the 15th. That's the Derby. Then the All-Star game's the 16th. And then the Padres, they don't come back till the end of July when the Dodgers come to town. So that's what we got coming up next. The Rangers, obviously defending World Series champs. They've had to deal with some injuries, though, this year. So should be an interesting series there in Arlington. Oceanside Boy 760 says, we got to see if the fire keeps going because I didn't imagine the offense exploding against the Red Sox. Yep. Now, what I didn't expect, the offense, sure, they scored, 20 runs in those first 2 games? I wasn't expecting them to explode off of Tanner Houck because that guy was the AL ERA leader going into that outing, pitching at home. I wasn't expecting the Padres to go off like that. That was Houck's, how Waldron kind of had the bad outing? That was Tanner Houck. That was his, throwaway outing for Red Sox fans, at least from what I saw on social media. And so that's great when the one, throwaway outing is the Padres facing him. But yeah, it was impressive. It was impressive. And I keep going back to Merrill and Manny. And Higgy, for sure. We'll see if the wild card's going to be a dogfight. Who knows, these teams and their approaches at the deadline. Is it going to be a lot of standing pat? Is it going to be selling and buying for some teams? Because you can do both. Because I just wonder how many teams are just going to buy, that are in that wild card hunt. So right now, the Padres have the second wild card spot, 46 and 42. They have the same amount of wins, by the way, as the Braves. But they've played a lot more games than the Braves. Cardinals are 43 and 40. They have that final spot. They've been playing much better as of late. And then the Mets, D-backs, Giants, Pirates, and Nats are all 4 games or under to get to that final wildcard spot where the Cardinals are at. So, yeah, there's a lot of teams there, but how many teams believe, let's go all in here? Let's go only add here. We believe in this team. Is that the D-backs? Do the Giants really believe that? Do the Pirates really believe that? Do the Nationals really believe that? James Wood's making his debut tomorrow, so good timing. Padres got to miss him. The Cardinals, I think, would do it. Padres will do it. The Braves will do it. The Mets, we'll see, because they weren't trying to contend, right, for a World Series. Billy Epler said it to Max Scherzer last trade deadline, so it's going to be interesting. Christian asked, how close is Bogaerts to a rehab? Well, the update there, he talked to the media. That was also another moment that it was cool seeing Bogaerts get that tribute video at Fenway and for him to be there. I know he's not playing, but it was cool. I think he got to soak it in more, him not playing. Because he didn't have to worry about going into the field, facing the pitcher coming up. He could just soak it in. And he signed autographs for Red Sox fans for 45 minutes before the series opener. That was cool. But the update there, CT scan, I believe, on Monday is what he said. So tomorrow. And then we'll see. Hopefully a rehab assignment is the next step after that. I don't know if it's going to be Tuesday rehab. Or are they going to wait to send him to Lake Elsinore when they get back starting on, what would that be, Thursday? I know they have a day off. No. That's the final game in Texas on Thursday. Friday. Would it be in Friday or on Friday in Lake Elsinore? I haven't checked Lake Elsinore's schedule. Would it be Fort Wayne? Would it be San Antonio, El Paso? I don't know where it would be, but yeah, it seems like he is going to not just be like Trey Turner and go right back into action, but he will go on a rehab assignment. He's working on that two-handed finish on his swing. Yep, Padres fans definitely showed up in Boston, Mom. That's for sure. That was cool. The Manny chants, he's not used to that, because he was with the Orioles. This was his first time with the Padres at Fenway. He's not used to that. There was the Ha-Seong Kim chants, obviously. Yeah, Dan. Yep. Clear as day, the unity with this team. It is a team. And when they're a team, even if we feel like this team on paper may be less talented, they're more fun to watch. Clearly. No doubt about it. Irie says, "What's up, Ben? It's just Campusano's stance. You don't change something that's not broke. Now, he may lose his starting position now because his projections was with his old stance." Oh, you're talking about like so the change that he made, you're saying his struggles are because of that? Last year, he had a pretty open stance as well. So I don't know how big of a change he has made this year. But regardless of that, I mean, Higgy's the starting catcher. He deserves it. Yeah, C-Dubs, I agree. Glad we got that series win for sure. Irie says, a lot of us in the beginning of the year thought that Campusano was going to be an all-star offensively. I really wonder why he up and decided to change his swing. Always looking to improve. That's probably why. I didn't think he was going to be an all-star, but I thought a step forward was going to come because he was going to get that pretty much almost everyday playing time because Higgy was the backup. That was clear. Yeah, I'm advocating for it, Devin. Action Jackson needs to be in the All-Star game. Merrill is insane. So fun to watch that guy. It's been so cool to have a rookie in this Padres organization. I know Tatis came up as a rookie, and that was fun to watch too. But it just feels like it's been forever since then. To have a rookie position player come up, and he had expectations on him, right? I mean, that's all we were talking about in spring training. To come up and to perform like this is amazing. Yeah, this was something, Devin, that I think Kevin Acee said, right, in his newsletter, that the Padres are looking for a frontline reliever. So who is that going to be? I mean, it's June 30th, so there's still time for some of these wildcard teams maybe to drop out, and then some guys might be available, like an Adam Ottavino with the Mets, right? Or maybe a Pirates reliever or a Reds reliever. AL teams, Mason Miller, I don't think so. Like the A's are going to be asking for a lot, but I think that you'll probably hear Michael Kopech's name. The Nats, I wonder what their trade deadline approach is going to be. Are they going to add in some spots, but then trade like Hunter Harvey, one of their relievers, kind of buy and sell? I don't know. Those are just some names that I would throw out there. A couple names. Aroldis Chapman. He's on Pittsburgh, right? Let me confirm that. I think he's on Pittsburgh. Or is he on Kansas City? That was last year that he was on Kansas City. He's on Pittsburgh. 3.86 ERA, 34 games, 28 innings, 47 punch-outs, 1.607 whip. I don't know. I just remember I wasn't a big fan of signing Chapman in free agency. Either it was before last year or this past offseason. So I'm not so sure about that. And I think it was a Hector Gomez report, right? That was the only person. I could be wrong, but I thought he was the only person linking Chapman to the Padres at that time. So I don't really know how much interest the Padres had or have currently in Chapman. But it would be a lefty reliever. We'll see. Yeah, again, apologies, guys, for whoever decided to come on and do that. I don't have anyone to screen the calls. So, no, I can't screen the calls. It's not I'm not on 97.3 The Fan or anything. Merrill Ocean View Coffee Shop says Merrill makes up for the Soto trade. I mean, Merrill was going to come up anyway, I would think, because Soto would be in left. I think the Padres were still trying to trade Grisham. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, Merrill, it is helping making up for the Soto trade. Like, we got Vasquez, we got Brito, we got Higgy, who's raking, turning to Barry Bonds, as Brett Sullivan said this weekend, which is kind of true, catching-wise, and for the Higgy expectations, the Higgy standards. But it is Juan Soto that they still gave up. But no, Merrill, Profar, I think it would be more accurate to say Profar, or the combination of Profar and Merrill, but not just Merrill. But Profar, because he's actually playing left, he is making up for Soto. And he's making $1 million, not 30. Let's see. Update on Vasquez. I think AJ Cassavell said that there was swelling. I don't want to get this wrong, so I'll look it up. Swelling or bruising, something like that. The day after Vasquez took that off of his shoulder. Here it is. Vasquez is okay after that line drive. Maybe it was AC that put that out, that he had like bruising or still swelling. So I think it's questionable if Vasquez makes his next start. That's what I'm saying there. All right, Jeremiah, please don't do what that last guy did. What's up, man? Jeremiah?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. What's up?
Yo, what's good? What I was gonna ask, what's your favorite City Connect jersey in the league?
Oh man, City Connect. I mean, I've warmed up to ours. I like the hat from the get-go. I wasn't a big fan of the jersey, but I like ours. I like the Nationals one. The Phillies is not. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Phillies one. The Powder Blues is what I'm thinking about. I like theirs, the Powder Blues, but those aren't the City Connects. I'm trying to. Are the A's City Connects the green ones?
I think so.
Kelly green, because I like those. Those are cool. The Dodgers are a joke, which is hilarious. Trying to think of the other ones. The Red Sox ones, I understand what they're doing, so I'm not gonna be like I hate those. But it just, you look at that and it's like, that's not the Red Sox.
Yeah, my favorite is the Bug Me So Good Nigga.
All right. I think that's another guy that did something there. All right. Yeah, the Colorado ones. Yes. My mom's in here. Yeah. The Colorado ones. Those are cool. Yeah. Again, apologies for those two guys that came in here and did that. I put that link out there because I want, Padres fans to come on here and talk about the Padres and have a good time talking about the Padres like the first guy did. But yeah, I apologize for that. Anything else that I missed here? Is there anything that I missed from this series or any updates that I missed? I was working earlier today, so I didn't read like the post-game stuff from today. From AJ Caswell says here, Camposano begins his rehab with Lake Elsinore tomorrow. He'll DH, then catch on Tuesday. No rotation yet for Texas. Padres could use the 2 off days to shake things up, possibly push Major and Vasquez back. Or would they skip one of those guys? I wonder if they would just like skip one of them. But I'm feeling good coming away from this series. No doubt. That's what, 3 straight series wins. Almost had us. Well, they didn't almost. I mean, it wasn't very close today, but they were 1 win away from getting their second consecutive sweep. And 4 games over 500, I'm going to take that. 46 and 42. I mean, again, let's remember where this Padres team was at that Phillies game, that last Phillies game where they could have went winless on the road trip, and things were not good. And look how they've turned it around. No Musgrove, no Darvish. Estrada's like sick, right? No Tatis, no Bogarts. And look what they're doing. Obviously, Manny's getting rolling now, so I'm encouraged by it. All right. Thanks, everyone, for the time. Have a great night, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.